Good morning, good afternoon. I'm so glad that you're back for day 2 of AF Fire, the workshop to use your alcohol-free transformation to leverage your biggest dream. Now, day 1 was amazing. I had so much fun with you guys, just really going into this deeper idea that you have come to reevaluate the role of alcohol in your life for a bigger reason. The universe is literally orchestrating this on your behalf so that you can become the version of yourself that you were meant to become in this lifetime. You are meant to share a bigger purpose with the world. You are meant to share your gifts. You are meant to play bigger. And all of this is happening literally for you on the back end. Because if you think about it, when we use alcohol as a normal, regular part of our lives, it's so hard to show up completely. It's so hard to wake up feeling good and wanting to do the things you want to do. It's so hard to dream big because we're constantly losing that self-esteem and that self-trust when we let ourselves down. It's so hard to even really believe that a future would be different when we're always in the merry-go-round of the same. And I think that ditching alcohol or taking a break or reevaluating it is such a power move because it literally is the sign that you are ready to unleash your deeper purpose. And yesterday we went really deep into asking some questions of what you would really want to do if anything were possible, if money was no object, if you would succeed no matter what, to really truly get at the heart of the desire. And I hope you were able to join us live or watch the replay because we did a really deep meditation where you can go back and follow along. Now, if you're just joining us, I want to share a little bit of logistics of this workshop, that the more you share, the more you comment, the more that you put your answers of the workbook into the Facebook group. That's a really great way to get feedback and just like really put it out there that your dreams are possible for you. The more you're going to be entered to win our incredible giveaways. First prize is a full scholarship to Become Emboldened. This is my signature program to unleash your deeper purpose and manifest your dream as an alcohol-free woman, and a one-on-one call with me to see that through. Our second prize winner is going to get a half off scholarship to Become Emboldened, $700 off, plus a beautiful, elegant 8-pack of Wild AF, one of my favorite non-alcoholic wines. You'll get both the white and the red. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. You can take them anywhere you go. And third prize gets a high-end variety box of Curious Elixirs, which is another really high-end, super bougie, super swanky mocktail set. So I hope that you guys just play full out, close all the tabs that you have. And you know what? Do me a favor right now. I know everyone's phones are near them because this is the world we live in. Go ahead and grab your phone real quick for me and go to the Instagram app, type in euphoric.af, find my profile, and message me a little fire emoji, okay? If you message me a fire emoji, I'm just gonna be able to know that you're here. I can ask you some questions about how this went for you. You can tell me your bigger dreams. I just wanna connect with you so badly. And that way I'll know that you're here. And obviously the comments are an amazing place to show up too. But just real quick, just grab your phone, find my name, euphoric.af, and then send me a fire emoji in the DM, okay? I would really, really appreciate it. So today on day 2, day 1 was activating your purpose, and I hope the questions and the workbook was really helpful for you to just uncover, what are my deeper desires? What do I want at this stage of my life? Even if we've been following our purpose for a while, or it feels like we've done a lot of things in our lives, there's always a next chapter. I had the humble pleasure of interviewing a doctor who is 102 a few weeks ago. I hope you were able to catch it on Euphoric the podcast. And she still has a 10-year plan. At 102, she wrote her first mass public book. This woman is incredible, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter where you are in your life, even if you've already had a career, already had a full-time life and job and all the things you've already done, or you're working on your passions, there's always a next chapter ahead of us. I am being called to grow in so many ways every single year. And if I would just ignore that voice, I would stay stuck. So this isn't just like a one and done type of thing. The universe and our soul and the intuition is always calling us to grow, always calling us to dig deeper into what our purpose is as it's unfolding. And maybe we get to have multiple purposes in life, right? Maybe there isn't just this one magical purpose, but it's a matter of really listening to what is the most potent, most relevant thing for you to do next, and always being open to that. Because if we don't have something to yearn for, something to grow towards, something to work on, we die inside. We literally do. People who don't have anything like that literally feel so stuck and stagnant, almost facing like a midlife crisis because there's nothing to grow towards, right? Growth is one of our top human needs, and we grow as people. It's usually not about the goal itself. It's the people we become in order to achieve that goal that's so magical. And I think ditching alcohol is such a growth journey like that. We learn to love ourselves again. We learn to, really value the future version of us versus the past, like showing up for that future version of ourselves. Like, you know what? I'm going to wake up feeling good instead of in a hangover is such a gift of self-love. We wake up with more energy, with deeper sleep. We wake up, I think, feeling more courageous because we're doing something that really is so different in the world. Like most people drink, and when you're a non-drinker, you really have to kind of explain yourself sometimes. And I think that takes a lot of courage. And that courage is also what you need in order to achieve your biggest dreams. So it's like, there's not enough signs for me to be able to tell you that like you are here in the right place, ready to unleash your deeper purpose because you've reevaluated the role of alcohol in your life. Like this message is not for the whole world, right? It's not for everyone. It's for you because you listen to your intuition and you're ready for that next growth stage in your life. And, as I said yesterday, hopefully you caught the replay, we really asked these deep activating questions of like, what would I really want? Like if anything was possible, if success was inevitable, if money was inevitable, what would I want? And sometimes it's so hard to be honest with ourselves about this because we often hold back from what we really want because of a defense mechanism. We're scared that if we even say it out loud, that we will end up being hurt because we won't achieve it or we won't have it happen. And I just have to say that there's no greater hurt than hiding your dream as well. There's no greater hurt than hiding your dream and pretending like it doesn't matter to you or pretending that this life isn't special and that you're not supposed to do big things. Like that is really painful too. And yes, it might be hard to say out loud what you really want because then you're scared, well, what if it doesn't happen? What if I don't achieve it? But it also ensures that you're going to. We're 43% more likely to achieve our goals if we write them down. We're like 70% more likely to achieve our goals when we say them to other people that are holding space for them, especially women like this in this group, right? So take the bravery, take the courage it takes to claim your dreams, claim what you want, say it out loud. Now, today I want to talk about how we need to upgrade our alcohol-free mindset in order to achieve our dream. And I hope yesterday you were able to catch, my introduction to my grandmother. And, I want to share just a little more backstory because maybe you're new to my audience, maybe you're new to this workshop. I want to tell you a little bit more about me. When I was still drinking, I stopped in early 2018. I was living a very fine life. My life looked just fine on the outside. Nothing was rock bottom, nothing was bad. I had a good job, I had a great marriage, I had all the things, right? But I remember feeling so stuck in that job. I worked in a cubicle, I had a 9 to 5, I had a commute, I had to have a boss and projects and just do whatever people told me to do. And I just felt so stuck. And in fact, I used drinking as a way to really unwind on the weekend. I usually didn't drink during the week. I was trying to be really healthy at that point. But on the weekend, it was like every weekend, without fail, alcohol's involved, right? Which is a really normal pattern in our society. And it was literally, I didn't know that was the highlight of my week. That was the thing I was looking forward to the most out of the drudgery of the week. Like I couldn't wait for the weekend to just get to that point. And I didn't realize it was because I was so unfulfilled in my job. I was so unfulfilled in my career and in what I was doing. And I don't just mean to use the word career or job like that's what defines us. It's really not. But I just was not living into my purpose, right? Like we can still have a job and still live into our purpose. I'm not saying that those things are like not possible, but in my prior life, I was not living into my purpose. And this whole alcohol thing was bothering me for a long time. Like I said, I really valued health and mindfulness, and alcohol was like that one red flag that didn't really fit with that lifestyle. You know what I mean? And so finally I decided to take a break from alcohol. I did dry January of 2018, and slowly but surely I started to feel so much better. I started to feel more energetic and alive and happier. And I drank a few times that February because I still believed that I had to drink to be a normal adult, but I actually hated it. And that was when I really had this wake-up call of, oh my gosh, I want to keep going alcohol-free. I believe that there's something here for me. I believe that it's showing me something. And the longer and longer I went in that second break, the more I was getting signs from the universe that I was meant to do something big with my life, that I was meant to write the book I've always wanted to write. I was meant to start a business. I was meant to do all these things. And literally in that first year alcohol-free, my whole life changed. I did launch a business. I wrote the first draft of this book that you see right here, Euphoric, Ditch Alcohol and Gain a Happier, More Confident You. I launched a podcast. I ran a half marathon when I wasn't really an athletic or running type of a person. Like, I just defied all of my previous limits. And slowly but surely, I was able to leave my day job and make this my full-time career. Slowly but surely, I was able to have my husband quit his job so that we now work on Euphoric together and can travel the world. And we have a team and certifications, and just so many things are going on now. But I look so fondly back to that first year because it was all a result of the confidence that I got from ditching alcohol. And I really had to upgrade my alcohol-free mindset. Now, here's the thing, that as long as I was moderating, as long as I was debating even whether or not I was going to drink, as long as I was thinking about alcohol, my brain literally was not capable of creating anything else, right? It was this dominant thing in my mind that took so much mental energy. And if you've ever been there with that whole moderation or that whole, what am I going to drink? What am I going to say? Like, just the constant kind of thinking about alcohol, it is actually really hard to devote your mind space to anything else. I like to joke that I could have probably written 3 books in that time that I was spending worrying about alcohol. And, yesterday I started by sharing that my grandma is such a role model to me, that she is a World War II survivor. She literally, my father, when he was an infant, was bombed. They lived literally under rubble for the rest of the war for 4 months. Her husband was in a concentration camp. She lived in a ghost town that was completely obliterated. I mean, I can't even imagine what she went through. And throughout her life, when she raised me, she really was like a mom to me. She was the most positive, strong, beautiful woman ever. Like, none of that changed her to be cynical or negative or see the world in a bad way. She gave me that light and that positivity. And when I was still drinking, I always felt weird to hang out with my grandma when I was drinking. I always felt like there was something off with that she saw something bigger for me than the behavior that I was doing. She wasn't shaming me, I'm not saying that, but I just felt really weird about it. And something incredible happened. I decided to go alcohol-free when she was still alive. I got to spend just a few years with her before she passed as an alcohol-free woman, and it made me so happy to be in her presence, knowing that alcohol is no longer in the way anymore. She actually lived in Poland at that point, so I'd only see her when I was visiting, so just a few times that I was able to visit her when I was alcohol-free. And something really incredible happened. My grandmother died of old age, so it wasn't like a abrupt, shocking thing. And towards her 98th birthday, she passed away one night. And it's so uncanny to me that the day that she chose to leave this planet was my soberversary, February 24th. She decided to leave this planet on this day that had so much meaning to me, so much awakening, so much symbolism, and the power of waking up from my sleepwalking to actually being so much more purposeful and alive with my life. She chose that day of all days to leave this planet. And I knew this was 2021. That was my 3rd or 4th year soberversary, if I can count right. Yeah, 3rd year. I knew that it meant something. I knew that she did that for a reason. I knew that she was guiding me to continue on this path and continue leading women towards an alcohol-free lifestyle because of what they can do and the way they can change the world. I knew that her death had so much symbolism on that day to point the road forward, that my deeper purpose and my bigger why all lived in this alcohol-free lifestyle and sharing it with the world. And something also uncanny happened was that my grandmother loved jewelry. She would wear rings and necklaces, and she had stones and crystals in her, her room. And she was obsessed with the stone amethyst. So she had amethyst rings, like I said, jewelry. She had this beautiful, beautiful amethyst stone that would be like $500 or $1,000 in a crystal store these days. And when she passed away, and this it hits me that she, I'm mourning her, I'm grieving her, and it's literally my soberversary that she decides to leave this planet. I also decide to look into the amethyst and the symbolism behind that. And I find out that amethyst in ancient Greek actually means not drunken. It means sober. My grandmother's favorite stone, and she left for me, literally, I'm looking at it right now. It's this beautiful amethyst. I wish it was closer so I could show you. She left that for me. And I have it in my office every day, and I look at it, and you know what I think to myself? That not only is there the symbolism that I was meant to go alcohol free to activate my deeper purpose, not only is there the symbolism that she suffered everything she went through so I could have this life, but that I am meant to share this with the world and play this bigger game and take all of the opportunity that I have today, and you do too, that she didn't have back then, to help and change the world. And it just literally gives me tears. It gives me goosebumps to think that she's been guiding me all along to become this version of myself. And now I really want to share that story because it goes to show that I had to strengthen my alcohol-free identity and make alcohol such a small part of my rearview window to ever be able to play this big game and go after the life I really wanted to. And I know that that's going to be a really important part for you too. You know, whether you're taking a break for Sober October, you've been alcohol-free for a few months, you've been alcohol-free for a year, alcohol still seems to swim in our brains. You know what I mean? Like, it's still this like, well, am I gonna not drink forever? Or like, what about this party? How long am I gonna do this? Sometimes we think like, oh, what am I gonna say here? Like, we're not very confident about this lifestyle yet or this identity. It feels weird to us. You know, it's still swimming in our brain. It's still taking up so much valuable real estate. And I believe that if you really want to activate and live into your purpose, that we got to clear all of that. We got to get rid of that. You know, think of just Einstein, for example. If he was so preoccupied with alcohol all the time, like, would we even have the theory of relativity? You know what I mean? Like, you have so much bigger things to do in your life than think about a fermented beverage, as we all do. And so I want you to really know that, like, the time that is spent thinking about alcohol, the time is spent like not feeling confident in your alcohol-free lifestyle, it's going to just detract from your purpose. But it's also a super normal phase to go through. I went through it. Everyone I've coached goes through it too. So it's not like you're in the wrong place and you're like, why haven't I gone over this faster? Of course not, right? It's just something that we need to prioritize to clear. It's something that needs to get stronger and stronger and stronger. The stronger you feel in your alcohol-free identity, the easier your purpose and your dream will come to you. The stronger you feel in like not caring and worrying about what other people think and not like debating whether or not you're going to drink, like, you know, soon or not, and just literally not giving alcohol any time and space in your beautiful brain is the bigger and easier that your purpose and your dream is going to come to you. Because it's like the law of the vacuum basically states that the good things that you want in your life can't come if it's too busy up here, if it's too jam-packed. We have to let go of things. And that's why letting go of alcohol in the first place, just to take a break, means that you're ready to activate your deeper purpose. And so it's really important for you to find a way to feel more confident and to literally clear the desire for alcohol so that it's not something that's like a phantom limb. You're not missing it. You're not feeling just all the things about it. I mean, literally to me, because I've done this work, alcohol is meaningless to me. I don't spend a minute thinking about it except for when I'm usually coaching someone around it. Like it doesn't factor into my life. It's such a strong identity I've built to being an alcohol-free woman. And it doesn't mean that it's like a negation, like I'm a person who doesn't drink. I actually find it as this huge positive. I find it as this huge positive where literally it just doesn't exist for me. I don't even think about it. I don't like ruminate, like nothing about it exists for me. My brain is completely free to focus on my bigger purpose. And I want you to get there too. So what if we were able to see that clearing all alcohol programming, clearing these ideas that, you know, normal drinkers drink, or that, you know, it's weird to be a non-drinker and it's awkward and what am I going to say and what am I going to drink again and just all this kind of stuff, if we can just agree that clearing that is going to serve you so, so well. And, you know, my signature program, Become Emboldened, that helps alcohol-free women become so confident in their alcohol-free identity, is exactly the program that does that for you. It's exactly what you need to not only make that a solid identity, but then get those wheels in motion and go fast toward your biggest goal and all the frameworks that you need for that. More on that in a minute. But what if we were able to see that your alcohol-free identity was actually the secret sauce that you need to achieve your goal? So for example, I remember back when I was still drinking, I used to think that non-drinkers were problems. I used to think, right, like that's a big problem with a capital P or a capital A. Like that's a person who can't handle their life, right? So I thought they were problems. I thought maybe they're boring. I thought maybe they're religious. Like I just had negative connotations with non-drinkers. And obviously, even though I wasn't like happy with the way alcohol was showing up in my life, I still wanted to drink because my view of a non-drinker was so negative. Why would I ever want to be something that I think is negative? You know what I mean? And something really changed in me within that first year, even if the first few months I was going alcohol free, is I shifted into a total positive. I started to see non-drinkers as the coolest people on the planet. I started to see non-drinkers as my favorite heroes. I started to see that literally not drinking is the secret to why some people are so mega successful and others aren't. I started seeing people like Tony Robbins, who's not a drinker, literally create so many empires and legacies in his life and help so many people. I started to see people like Brene Brown, who talks about shame and vulnerability and really changed the leadership dialogue in this country as a non-drinker. I started to see people like Gabby Bernstein, who really created a spiritual revolution as a non-drinker. I started to see presidents and all these people who literally are changing the world as non-drinkers. Now, obviously, some people still drink and are doing pretty cool things, but I usually notice that it's not a really big part of their life, right? That if you really want to play in the center stage of your life, alcohol can't be this constant thing that we're always thinking about and wrestling with and all these things. And even when we're not drinking or taking a break from alcohol, it still needs to come to a place where we're feeling like alcohol really is meaningless and that we're so confident in our alcohol-free identity for us to truly be able to unleash our full power and our full potential. And so how can you start to see your identity as a non-drinker or an alcohol-free woman as the biggest positive in your life? How can you start to see that people who don't drink are people who achieve their dreams? How can you start to see that like the movers and the shakers and the coolest people out there who you admire and who are doing amazing things don't drink? Now, when I look back to my grandmother, did she have like a little bit of wine every so often? Sure, but she was not, in my book, a drinker. She didn't drink, really, you know? And I think that's why I looked up to her so much, is she was always in her consciousness and always in her deep presence and always in her deep love. No matter what she went through, she wasn't hiding, she wasn't numbing. She really was that rock and that role model for me. And so how can you see the most incredible people on the planet, yourself included, as alcohol-free, as non-drinkers? And literally knowing that this is why, even if in the past I failed, even if in the past I wasn't able to achieve my dreams, even in the past I wasn't working on a book, even in the past if I was like, I could never run a business, everything is different now because no one has ever seen you like this. The world has never experienced you as this alcohol-free bombshell. You know what I mean? Anything is possible today. You can write the book. You can launch the business. You can start the podcast. You can become a coach. You can go travel the world if that's what you want. Like whatever it is, you now have this secret sauce to leverage that you didn't have before. And it's so incredible because at this time is such a good time to like really start to change the brain in that way, because the brain is already so confused. Like you went decades, I'm guessing, right? No one's 18 here. You went decades as someone who drank. And now, you know, whether you're a month alcohol free or 2 months or a year, literally no matter what, it's still a pretty short period of time compared to the decades that alcohol was a present in your life. Your brain is so confused. Your brain's like, oh, we're not drinkers now? Okay. Like literally you can feed your brain anything at this moment. You can be like, yep, and we're writers now. Yep, and we're entrepreneurs now. Yep, and we're coaches now. Yep, and we're this. Yep, and we're thought leaders. Whatever you want, whatever you wrote down, slip it into your brain now. And the thing is that our beliefs in general are going to be the most crucial things ever. You know, I really love studying things that are about mindset, psychology, neuroscience, and, you know, anything about like how our human potential activates in the world. And I'd love to see like real studies that are peer reviewed, just incredible science proving all of this to be true. Because the thing is that we think that there is just this reality out there and that whatever we think in our brain is just true. If we think that, well, I'm kind of shy or introverted, I could never be a business owner, we just take that as fact. It's not fact. There's science that proves that there is no consensus of reality, that there is no reality out there that's just objective. Everything is subjective. Even the colors you see right now, you are seeing them because you are a human with a human eyeball and a human brain. Those colors are not inherent in any of those objects you're seeing. In fact, if your dog was sitting right next to you and seeing the same exact objects, they would see completely different colors. All the greens you were seeing would be beige to them. All the reds you're seeing would be blue to them. There is no color in the real world. You're seeing it as a result of your human eyeball and your human brain. In fact, they say that pigeons see way more colors and way more vibrancy in the world than humans do. Pigeons see the world in a completely different way. Now that's just colors, right? But this happens with everything. Everything we see is a result of our confirmation bias. It's a result of what our brain takes in. There's literally 11 million bits of information coming into our brain at any given time. Our brain can't process all that. Most of it goes stored into the subconscious, but our conscious brain only processes about 50 bits per minute. So you are deleting, distorting, filtering. You are never truly seeing reality as it is. You are seeing reality as your brain thinks it should be. And so our beliefs have been proven to matter so much because if you believe that you can't be an entrepreneur, your brain is going to feed you that all day long. You're going to get evidence of that. You're going to see all of the reasons all the time. If you believe you can be an entrepreneur and you can make good money being an entrepreneur, your brain will find evidence for that. So the thing is, if there is no objective reality, if there is no way to prove whether one belief is right or wrong, you might as well believe things that are going to serve you and your beautiful dream in this lifetime. You're not delusional. I know it feels like you're delusional, but trust me, you're not delusional, because believing that you can't do something or that you're not good enough to do something or smart enough to do something or like you don't know enough to do something, that's a lie. There's no evidence of that. There's no objective evidence of that whatsoever. And in fact, it's been proven over and over again that women have such higher imposter syndrome than men that you are most likely discounting yourself so much lower than another man would do, right? That you think you don't know enough, you think you're not good enough, you think you could never be the expert on this. Bullshit. You do know enough, you are smart enough, you are good enough, you are capable enough, you are magnetic enough. And going alcohol free is going to just supercharge all of those beautiful gifts for you. You know, there's this incredible statement, it's the law basically in NLP, it's called a presupposition. And NLP is called neuro-linguistic programming. It's a subset of psychology that really studies human potential and human performance. And it basically says that if one person on this planet was able to do something, that is proof that we all can. In fact, back in the 1950s, we used to believe that humans could never run a mile faster than 4 minutes. That was just literally like, we've been tracking how fast people run ever since the Olympics in Greece. Nobody in recorded history has ever run faster than a 4-minute mile. And it was literally believed that, well, I guess humans just can't run faster than 4 miles. It's physically impossible. 4 minutes for a mile. That's literally what was believed. And in the 50s, Roger Bannister was the first person who ran under a subpar 4-minute mile. Now, he practiced a lot, he trained, but you know what he did more so? He visualized it. He visualized himself crossing that finish line, running faster than he ever had. He used the power of his brain in order to do it. And something amazing happened that year, because when he ran faster than a 4-minute mile, then someone else did it in another country, and then someone else did it, and then someone else did it. And now literally there are high school students who can run faster than a 4-minute mile all around the world. That is a global belief that Roger Bannister completely debunked. And the thing is that our beliefs are always going to govern what we can or cannot do. If you believe something is impossible for you, if you believe you don't have enough time, enough money, enough whatever, then so be it. It will never happen for you. Your beliefs is the most important thing you could ever work on in order to have the life that you want. Yes, there's external situations that can be hard and complicated and all these things, but even in the hardest situations, if we have a negative mindset and we don't think it's possible, then we won't even try. If we believe that anything is possible and I have the strength to break through this and I'm going to learn from role models and mentors, then we will try. And I just believe so much in the human spirit that anything literally is possible. There's this incredible movie that just came out on Amazon Prime. It's called A Million Miles Away, and it's the story of a migrant worker who's, immigrated to the US, worked in the fields in California, picking produce with his family, so poor, so just barely scrapping by. And he wanted to become, when he watched the moon landing in 1969, he watched that as a child and decided, I want to become an astronaut. And, he worked hard, he became an engineer, and he started applying to become an astronaut with NASA. Now, most people who become astronauts are literally from the Air Force, they're fighter jet people, they get so much training. And here's this guy who's just happening to work at this engineering firm, applying to be an astronaut. He doesn't have the scuba training he needs, the flight experience, he doesn't have any of that, right? And so every year he keeps getting rejected, and every year he decides to work harder. He starts running marathons. He starts learning how to fly planes. He starts doing scuba diving lessons. He starts literally putting his body through all the physical things that he needs to do. He starts learning more about the science, learning about more space. He goes crazy. Every year he applies, every year he's denied. He's now in his 40s, which is okay, you're probably not going to be an astronaut, bro. And he applies the 11th time. And he finally gets accepted. He finally becomes an astronaut, and a few years later, he has a mission to space, and it was the first migrant worker in the history to be in space. And his entire family, the legacy he creates for them, the belief and hope, the pride he creates for them is so incredible. The way he changed that entire family's belief in what is possible for this little Hispanic kid from the migrant farms of California to be up in space. It is an incredible story of human spirit. And so don't tell me something's not possible for you, right? We don't know. Have you tried 700 times and failed? No, probably not. You've probably tried once or twice. You know what I mean? These lessons come to us of how incredible the human spirit is in order to inspire us to keep going. My grandma was that lesson to me, to inspire me to literally see that my life was not here to slog through a job, punch a clock, play games on my phone after work because I'm so bored, and drink. My grandma's legacy is to show me that she went through everything she went through so that I could have and create a true legacy for my life as well that helps other people, that gives me a sense of meaning and fulfillment, that gives me a sense of abundance too, so that I can do the things I want to do in this lifetime and experience them. I mean, I love to travel. I'm traveling all the time. I've created literally a life of my dreams based on the ability to change my beliefs. And I still have a long ways to go. There's still so much I want to do. There's still so many things in front of me. And I know that it all rests on what I do here. And so my question for you right now is that, do you believe that anything is possible for your life? Now, I know that's actually a really hard question. It's really sharp and targeted because our gut response is no, I don't. And obviously we've been let down and we've had horrible things that happen to us, and there's just so much that life brings us that can be negative that it's hard to believe. It's hard. Now, I'm not asking you to just believe out of thin air. I'm asking you to work on your mindset to the point where one day you can believe and you start taking consistent action in pursuit of your bigger dream. And you start using the tools in front of you, whether it's visualization, meditations, mantras, NLP, working with a coach, working in a group program, whatever it is, to take you to that next level. Because it's all here. I didn't think I could be a coach. I didn't think I could be an entrepreneur. I didn't think I could ever write a book. I didn't think I could have a certification program. I didn't think I'd ever be on TV. I didn't think any of that stuff was possible for me. I'm foreign. I grew up not speaking English when I went to school. Most people mispronounce my name because they think it's Carolina, not Carolina. So I was just really shy and just okay, I am not the picture of who I am today when I was growing up. I didn't think anything was possible for me. But when we're young and when we don't know this mindset work, we have actually a distorted view of reality. We don't see things for what they are. We believe our thoughts at fact value. We believe I'm not good enough. We believe I'm not smart enough. We believe there's no money in this or whatever. We have this skewed view of the world. And so I don't want to just be all Pollyanna on you and just tell you anything's possible and the world's an amazing place. Of course not. Of course it's hard. Of course it's going to be hard. But it's going to be the best kind of hard you've ever signed up for. It's going to be amazing to live out your full potential. Know that you are literally in the arena on center stage every single day. And if any of this is interesting to you and you really want to move forward, I just want you to know that doors open tomorrow for my signature program, Become Emboldened. We've run this program 4 times now, and it's going to be the 5th round, and the incredible wins we have coming through that program just shock me to this day. We have women who come into this program newly alcohol-free and literally affirm their alcohol-free identity and get so much meaning and power in being a non-drinker. We have women who come in with nascent goals and nascent dreams and literally have a roadmap and so many signs and achievement points on their way as they are achieving their dreams. We have women who've launched podcasts. We have women who've written books. We have a 2-time author who is literally 2-time author now, who started in Become Emboldened and got inspired and Become Emboldened to write her books. 2-time author now, right? We have women who have launched businesses, who've become coaches, just women who have a dream just like you do, but need a container, need the support, the guidance, the accountability that I would argue we are statistically all in need in order to actually go for our goal and dream. The only reason this book is here, right here, is because I was in a group program just like this, and I committed to writing this book proposal in that group program. And the support of the women, the support of the mentor, the resources, the accountability, all of the mindset tools I needed are everything I needed to actually do this and not to let it just be a little idea here. So if you're interested, doors will open tomorrow. We're going to have the really special early bird that's only good until Monday. You're going to get $400 off the program. And it's my gift to you in order to give you a safe space and literally my mentorship and guidance on how to go after achieving this goal by changing your mindset, working on your alcohol-free identity, and getting the strategy and the roadmap you need towards your goal. We have some really cool masterclasses like how to write a book, how to launch a business, how to launch and grow a successful podcast, for example, how to attract wealth into your life so that you have literally a foundation of belief in abundance is for you. Like I said earlier, our beliefs are mostly all distorted because our brain filters all the time and we literally only see and believe what our brain already has some kind of confirmation bias for. Like, here's an example. If I believe that the world is evil, that humans are evil, that only bad things happen, I could find evidence of that every single day for the rest of my life. I could find bad things happening all the time. And I could have this theory that the world is evil. Everyone's fucked. We are screwed. People are bad, you know? I could also have a total opposite belief. I could believe that humankind is ultimately good, that people love each other, that the world is going to heal. And I could find evidence of that belief every single day for the rest of my life. Which belief is right? They're completely subjective. There is no objective truth out there. It is whatever you believe. And you better then choose to believe that anything is possible for you, because if you believe that everything isn't possible for you, you're already shooting yourself in the foot before you even start. And I know it's really hard to just believe that, especially when we go through so many ups and downs in life and so many pains and, disappointments and frustrations. But we need to have the mindset process in order to get our belief system back. We need to clear alcohol completely so we feel so confident and it becomes so meaningless that we are here to unleash our deeper purpose, not to worry about a silly beverage at the end of the day. We need these kinds of things because we, as alcohol-free women, I promise you, are here to change the world. Every single alcohol-free woman I know literally has stepped up in a bigger way in her life. She is changing her friend circle. She's changing her family. She's changing her community. She's often doing something big in the world too that literally creates such a ripple effect. Your dreams are meant for you. You've been going on this journey for a reason. Connect those two things in your mind. Remember the story about my grandma and her amethyst stone and the day that she chose to die, and how all of that has literally come to mean so much to me about leading so many of us through this alcohol-free journey. You are going to get those signs too. You are going to see angel numbers, or maybe you're going to see your favorite flower, or maybe you're going to see your favorite animal. Take those as signs that you are on the right path, that you are not going to go back to sleepwalking, that you are not going to go back to numbing, that you are not going to go and work a boring, stressful career that you don't like. Now, this isn't always about just quitting your day job. Obviously, some of us are super passionate about our jobs, and that's amazing. But if you know you also want to do something else on the side, then go out and do it. You are not just constrained to the role you have or the box you're in. You can be anything you want to be in this one lifetime. even an astronaut, apparently. So go watch Million Miles Away. I highly encourage it. It's going to blow you away. You're going to cry all the best possible tears watching that beautiful movie. And do the journaling tonight in your workbook. There's a different workbook today because we added some more questions. So make sure you use the link from the day 2 email and go through the workbook to ask the questions about how much alcohol is playing a role in your mind space still, how much you believe is what's possible, and also how to use things like NLP and evidence-based technologies to literally know that your dreams are destined for you. Now, when you come back tomorrow, we're going to be in day 3. I'm going to peel back the layers and really spill the tea and share with you how I have achieved some of my biggest dreams. I want to share with you how I manifested a 6-figure book deal. And when I say that, I want you to know that I didn't manifest that book deal when I was already like big on Instagram or had a big following or anything like that. I was nothing, nobody. I had barely any followers, and I manifested this 6-figure book deal. I want to tell you that story. I want to tell you how I launched a business. I want to really show you the roadmap that I used to achieve some of my biggest dreams. Now, I know that some of you here want to write a book because I saw your comments yesterday and I love talking to you. Please keep sharing. Like I said, the more you share, the more entries you're going to get to win these incredible prizes, the more we can also support you here. But 83% of all Americans want to write a book, and most people never write a book, right? So I want to give you that roadmap and the inspiration and the tools you need to actually do it. And I hope that my story is really inspiring you in order to see how I went from literally nothing, in the sense of not having any know-how on how to do anything to do with marketing, business, writing a book, or anything like that, and was able to create those things. So if you're interested in any of those topics, I want to be able to share with you how I did those. I also want to be able to tell you a good roadmap for you to follow and a good action plan moving forward. So be sure so I can tell you how I spilled the beans on my manifesting the 6-figure book deal, how I was able to launch and grow this business, and how I can give you some strategy and some tools to take your goals into action. Whether or not it's something that you're already working on, but there's a new project that's coming to you, or this is all just new to you and you're getting really activated to start on your bigger purpose and your biggest passion. I know it's really easy to let those limiting beliefs come up. I know immediately we're going to think of that imposter syndrome, we're going to have self-doubt, we're going to have fear, we're going to have perfectionism rear its ugly head. All of these things are super normal, and I go through them too as well. I'll tell you that. Working on my mindset, working in groups, working with a coach has changed my life. And if you're interested in becoming emboldened, just make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for our announcement tomorrow. We're going to give you early bird pricing. It's going to be $400 off. I cannot wait to meet you and support you in that program. And that is going to be your container where you are going to be able to work towards your bigger goal, heal those mindset blocks, get affirmed in your alcohol-free identity, and literally be a rock star. Like I said, we have 2-time authors, we have business leaders now, we have people who are leaving their day jobs. It's amazing the transformations that happen in that program. So be sure to just watch your emails tomorrow for doors opening to be able to get your early bird, because early bird only goes until next Monday. We have a really short window for early bird, so I want to be sure you can get your discount before it runs out. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for day 2. I cannot wait to see you for day 3 on literally how to execute your vision, the roadmap you need. I'll be sharing some more of my personal story of how I did what I was able to do, how I was able to achieve some dreams and some future dreams I have and how I'm approaching those, and then give you a roadmap as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to share your answers to any workbook questions in the group. We love to hear you. And like I said, if you haven't already, pick up your phone, go to the Instagram app, find me at euphoric.af, and send me a fire emoji. I want to know you're here. I want to be able to chat with you. I would love to hear from you what your beautiful goals and dreams are, okay? So send me a little fire emoji. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. It's such a blessing to be in connection with you. Alcohol-free women are going to change the world. You went through this journey for a reason, for a bigger purpose. Let's unleash that beautiful purpose into the world. Bye-bye.